Welcome back, guys. Today we're doing a little bit of thrifting, but the exciting part is we are thrifting for fall or Halloween inspired items. Appropriately, the 50% off tag at Goodwill today was orange, so that was kind of nice. My Goodwill does tend to have Halloween and fall items kind of scattered throughout the store, but the main area is in the back of the store where they have the furniture and a lot of the wood items. And before I found where the fall section was, this dresser caught my eye. So beautiful, high quality piece for only $30. You guys have heard me say in the past, I don't have room for more furniture, but if I did, that would have come home with me. Now, the eucalyptus did catch my eye, but as I was walking over to it, I scoped out a really pretty wood basket. I think this is a picnic basket. It's really beautiful. It was something that I had been searching for at antique stores for a while. So, of course, when I saw it at Goodwill, I was really excited to see it. So my plan is that I will probably use this on my front porch and keep it open and sort of pile in a bunch of faux pumpkins to create that harvest look. So the fall and Halloween section was pretty stocked on this day at Goodwill. I saw a couple of promising pieces. I always avoid the faux leaves and things like that just because I have so much of that. But this little cutie caught my eye, a very retro looking black cat in a jack-o'-lantern. How cute. Unfortunately, I left that one in store. I'm kind of regretting that now. Lots and lots of fall colors and definitely a lot of Halloween. I am thinking that this year I'm going to keep my Halloween decor more following and more cute. There is something about having my grandson arriving in August that makes me want to kind of steer clear of the scary Halloween that I have done in the past, or like the witch cottage, and head more towards items like this terracotta jack-o'-lantern, things that are a little bit more cute and welcoming and family friendly. Now, if you are an avid thrifter, you know that you don't skip over sections just because you're not on the hunt for those particular items. And I always do check the Christmas section as well. Sometimes I find Halloween inspired stuff kind of tucked back in there, like this was back behind a lot of the Christmas items. I also don't skip out on the textiles section. You can always find some really good throws and things that are cozy and beautiful. I know there's a lot of Christmas looking items here hanging on this section, and I thought this one would be a really pretty one for either the 4th of July or for Christmas. It has that very sort of primitive hearth and hand look to it, and I don't know why, but for some reason this apron caught my eye. I was feeling very inspired for fall and thinking about baking. I did leave this one behind, but one of the things that I would encourage you guys to do is whenever you're searching for fall items, you don't necessarily have to look for things that look like fall. Think about items that are functional that you would use during that season and use that in your decorating as well, because it will serve a double duty for you. You can use it for function, but you can also use it as beautiful functional accents into your home. I'm always on the hunt for creative ways to display my wood spoons in the kitchen, and I thought this one was a really beautiful piece of handmade pottery for only $4. I thought it was a good deal, but I was thinking it was a little bit small. But then I came across this hobnail one, and a lot of you guys may remember that you saw my hobnail salt and pepper shakers, and it's from the same line, so this one was definitely a potential. Now, this is the section that I lovingly refer to as the tchotchkes section, and you can definitely find some really good quality pieces in here, but oftentimes you have to dig. There's a lot of junk, there's a lot of visual clutter, sometimes it's overwhelming, but every once in a while you'll find something like this that just jumps right out at you. So cute for Halloween. I love this little candy bowl. Mugs are one of my favorite things to find at Goodwill, and sometimes you come across some really beautiful ones, and other times you find sort of those fan favorite ones, Dunder Mifflin. If you know what show that's from, leave me a comment below. I did come across this beautiful blue and white, I want to say stoneware, or maybe ironstone. Beautiful mug. I'm not looking for blue and white right now. I'm searching fall. So I headed over to the floral section, and lo and behold, I came across a really gorgeous neutral ceramic pumpkin candle from Sand and Fog, likely from Home Goods. I think Sand and Fog is usually found at Home Goods. I did come away with a few items, so then I headed over to another of my favorite stops, which is St. Vincent de Paul. Now, I don't often find a lot of like tchotchkes or home decor items here. Typically, when I find things at this store, it's usually furniture, which I'm not on the hunt for. So I started in the art and sort of home decor section so that I didn't get tempted by the furniture. I didn't come away with really anything at this store in the way of fall items, but I did see this really gorgeous wood bowl. Now, I don't know why it has an opening in the bottom. I mean, I'm assuming it's a bowl, but it could be something completely different. I intend to use it as a bowl. I did purchase this one and maybe fill it with pine cones or some sort of bowl filler. But if you guys know what it is, if it's not a bowl, please let me know because I'm very curious about that. I thought this hurricane was gorgeous. It was kind of reminding me of last year's Hearth and Hand hurricanes, the glass hurricanes with the gold accents. They were gorgeous. And then of course a watering can in copper. Copper is a great fall color. I would probably end up putting that on my front porch. Unfortunately, I left it in store. Now, baskets are always a good fall go-to, so I headed over to the basket section, and when I saw this little mini harvest basket, I thought it was so cute. I actually used to have a larger one and recently had donated it, so I was considering bringing this one home. So before I left, I did decide to head over to the furniture section. It was calling my name. If you know, you know. This store has so much, and I really didn't need anything, but I thought this little chair was interesting, very vintage looking. I love that lace detail, and that little short back was just very sort of petite and cute. And then this piece was stunning. Thankfully, I don't have any room for it because it was big and heavy. And then just kind of scanning around at the little side tables. I always love the vintage style of a lot of the tables that they have here. It's always interesting to me why certain stores have good selections of a thing. I never can understand why that is the case. I came across this little stool though, and I thought this would be an interesting one for a plant stand or something on my fall porch, maybe to hold a giant jack-o'-lantern or something just to elevate it. I have heard a lot of you guys mention that my prices at my thrift stores are really good, and actually I agree, they typically are, but this table was $70, and when I got a closer look, I mean, from far away it looked really nice, but I got a closer look and it was just like particle board. So, you know, it depends on the store. You definitely have to be careful, watch the prices, and consider the value. Before I left the store, I decided that I wanted to check out their textiles section. Sometimes I come away with a really nice quilt or throw. This one was definitely a day for pillows. They had a ton of pillows. So my last stop before I head home is going to be my local thrift store, which I always frequent. This is where I do all of my donating as well. And there were many promising items here in store. I came across so many beautiful pieces, fall pieces, as well as items that I will be storing away for future use. I love trying to find unique candle holders and wall sconces, and I thought that one was really pretty. It was a little bit too modern for my taste, so I did leave it behind. I did come across this beautiful brass bell. I have been on the hunt for one of these for a very long time, and I thought this picture frame was really pretty. I loved the coloring on the frame and the detail. For $3, I thought it would be great for downloading an Etsy print and maybe using it for some wall decor in my kitchen, or maybe leaning against my backsplash. You never know what sort of treasures you're going to come across when thrifting, so it's always fun to head out week after week, and I love that you guys want to come along with me. I'm so glad you came along thrifting with me today. I'll be doing a fall haul, so be sure and subscribe so you won't miss that video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.